Brent Ritzno here. Today I want to share with you the importance of not following the experts blindly. This is actually very critical because our society, and I gotta be nuanced here, without the expert, like somebody who's very competent, a lot of things just doesn't quite work, right? Like even the electricities, plumbing, whatever. We have to rely on the expert, but there are always a caveat here. When there is something blindly do something, there is always people that who are not quite qualified or even charlatans or incompetents will seep into your life, and then you'll follow their guidance and then get really burned. Sometimes, like for instance, like a medical situation, if you got into the incompetent doctors, you might actually risk your life. So, I mean, humans are humans. No matter how expert you become, there are always limitations, and we really have to understand this type of limitation, and then organize our life around it. And so, use the expert as our, in a sense, tools rather than some sort of dogma to just follow around. And this is very dangerous once you start following around just because they're authority figures. When I was younger, especially in academic sense, I tend to believe that the teachers actually know what they're talking about. Because as a student, I didn't quite know much, and then or the textbooks that I read, I thought everything is right. But then that type of blind thinking, just for the academic, it really killed my, in a sense, or slowed down tremendously of understanding of the material, because a lot of times the way they explain things, or they have mistakes in the reasonings. Even though they don't quite make sense, but I kind of assume that I wasn't really quite get it. I don't have a capacity to understand what they're saying, so I kind of blame myself. And but then when I look into it, like from current perspective, it's almost like oh wow, the way they explain things was so bad, or even the questionnaires, like the way they present the questions to the students are quite bad, very ambiguous sometimes, and then students want to feel like, oh, I'm not smart enough to figure it out, and as if these people who wrote these things have some sort of like a superior intelligence, but then it's actually contrary to it. When you don't quite understand, there might be, I mean, it's important that, okay, you might have problems, but then beyond that, you gotta also think that questions might not be presented right, or explanation could be a lot better. So it's important that you actually think this far, so that you're not limiting yourself just because of the experts. And one time, I think one of the important thing I learned in university, I took this debate class, and one teacher, I forgot the name, he was a really great, very nice guy, great guy. He told me about, he was really a straightforward, like no BS type. That's what I want, really wanted. And he said, like, you really have to question authorities. And that's when I opened my eyes, like, holy shit, like, I've been kind of blindly kind of following the authority, whatever they say, like news, whoever, right? as long as they kind of say it confidently or in the public, whatever, like I sort of kind of acquiesce my opinion to them. So that kind of open up. It's a part of the critical thinking to question authorities, especially the ones that doesn't really give you a good reason. It's almost like people just appeal to emotions, appeal to some sort of like, I went to this type of like education, so you gotta trust me. That type of things should not be. These people should not be believed in any way, shape or form. I mean, anybody who has who is competent should be able to explain to you in a really simple manner, not using the jargons or any of those things. In a very complicated subject, seemingly can people who can explain it very simple. That's the one like, who are really competent, the expert. So yeah, eventually my life got really better because I started thinking independently, and world becomes a lot more manageable, just because I take back my own cognitive sense, right? Cognitive ability to think for myself. So it gives me a lot of power. So it becomes a lot more manageable, whatever I do. So the challenge of this type of questioning authorities, not believing experts, why, how like they went through all this rigorous trainings or like vetting process. So doesn't that kind of count? Like, does that make it trustworthy, right? So the thing is this: it's not like, just imagine like if you go to the schools or whatever, right? Like it's not like top, very cream of the cream is the one that who actually get certified or whatever. There is always like a B student, C student, barely going through. They'll pass. Or sometimes like in a political field, rather than competence, a lot of them know how to be popular, how to become a tool, like a puppet of the masters, like who pays things. It happens all the time. So just because you get vetted or you get elected or anything, that doesn't make any of the opinions valid. And also a lot of it's a human being we're talking about, so there's a lot of incentives. If you give somebody like $1 million, let's say, to say something lie, some people might do it, especially if they are broke or something, or maybe they need that money. So that type of things going on in any situations. So it's very important to discern the not just credential. Credential is important in a sense, but once they pass the credential stage, we really have to verify the content of what they say, like if that really makes sense and if that really works. And what if those kind of ignoring, like let's say you come up with a different direction, but then expert is saying like, oh, this is the right, am I taking the risk? So it might cause quite a risk if you're not like listening to the one that actually know better than you. A lot of times people are arrogant and then say, hey, like especially fuzzy things, like politics or like policies. They think it's not that important, and then it's but then actually it's important to listen to the right type of ideas, so that your life is at least going towards the right direction. And this type of things, if you're like, let's say, have questions Right? Then you should ask a couple of actually experts from a different point of view. But then the important thing is different point of view of the opposite. A lot of people have caught up in this the brainwashing situation is because you can find any expert that agree with you if you look enough, because like expert are not necessarily that ethical or that competent, or somebody is just flat out biased, or they're instead just want to get money from you. You never know. So if somebody is against your opinion, like let's say like you're against an expert's opinion, then you should find more the one that who are not the who are against you. Okay, so that then you can actually test your opinion against the couple of other people, and then see if your evidence is still good, still superior than theirs. If so, then until that result shows up, because you hold this kind of a belief, then you should really stick to it, but to be careful. There is things that they said it's not right, but then you think it's right. So take your responsibility, and then if something starts going wrong, then just listen to them. But yeah, it's very important to make a decision for yourself. It's going to be your life. So a lot of times, like expert field is a field with charlatans, especially. Yeah, I mean, in any situation, even the lawyers, even the physicians, a lot of them are not really competent, actually. That's why they have to go into charlatanism, and then when they find the system exploitation, especially, I'm not saying like especially lawyers, but a lot of people actually take advantage of it. And you become the sucker, right? Like for instance, like in a lawyer situation, you use the lawyer at the last resort. Otherwise, like you're fighting with somebody, and when you fight somebody, like who's gonna win is only a lawyer. Both of you guys probably lose all the monies and spend on the lawsuit, and then what's the end? Nobody wins, really. So yeah, this kind of topic about scammers acting like authority figures are quite, they can kind of wear nice clothes or fake credentials, that type of things, or like on the phone they sounds like they're expert, it's like computer expert, and they try to rip your money. Just be aware. There's always like this. And even the politician, like a lot of times, like politicians or people with authority and power, if they got there through machinations, like Machiavellian method, like deceptions or, guerrilla tactics, rather than the merit that they espouse of their policies. Like they are really good connectors, like people person. These people can actually be in authorities. And all they do is to just grift, and then they can actually become president of the United States. So just be really careful about this kind of charlatans. Like these people will destroy the nations. Let's say letting illegal like people in, like left and right, and then not taking responsibility, try to kill somebody. I mean. Political opponents, and jail political opponents, and then make up some kind of excuses. It's just unconscionable. A lot of people, or some of the judges are completely corrupted, because of the money. I mean, always just follow the money. It's one of the easiest things you can do for the charlatan is they always connected with monies. So if for instance like public figures becoming super rich after they take office, generally speaking, they're the charlatans. So how am I going to tell like if the expert actually saying something right? So you really have to have like every single day, not every single day, but in general sense, you have to have a good common sense, and then kind of be aware, research yourself. If something is important, don't just rely on the expert. Research as much as you're by yourself, and be your own domain expert, and then so then you can judge. So yeah, that preparation is definitely necessary. What about then if this questioning like authority is like it become a conspiracy theory, right? Like you know, sort of like moon landing is fake and that type of things. It's like you can't trust authorities. This is difficult just because like a scientific things are quite intricate or complex a lot of times. For me, it's not that. Actually, I noticed that I really liked the math and science and stuff since one of the kids. So for me, it wasn't that difficult. But then it seems like a lot of people having difficulty analyzing these kind of technical things. But then at the end of the day, there are always people that who are expert, really good at this type of things, and then they're very honest. So you gotta find this type of people's and check their incentives, making sure that they're not saying things to make money or anything like that. They're just saying it to just for the sake of the knowledge. There are a lot of people like that. And yeah, if instead that somebody's lying or somebody's telling the truth, it's okay to be you don't know. It's far better than to say, oh, I don't know, than you assume something is right. In fact, it is wrong. Okay, that's very dangerous. So if you don't know, just say you don't know. That's important. And it's really difficult to go against the actual authorities, just because human nature, I think it's in our DNA that humans are very hierarchical, and then it's just for the societies to function, we have to actually follow the leaders, and it's just how to delegate and to make our life easier. So it's innate things. So we have to be a little push, we'll push ourselves to do this kind of tasks. So it's not really about like trying to be better than expert or like being arrogant that I know them bunch of people who are actually accomplished or any of those things. It is coming from the humility, right? Humility that I might not know, but then humility and humility and this verification, some sort of like a little bit of skepticism, like that's necessary. Critical thinking, that actually might save you even a life, or even the money that you desperately need. That might get ripped off by some charlatans, and they could be a really Harvard graduate charlatans. You never know. Just don't believe somebody just because they came from some sort of like institution. That's why they're automatically all right. That doesn't that doesn't work. You know, you never know how much they slacked off or how much what they learned is completely ineffective or useless. You know, the knowledge that they learn, and now they have that the name value that they act like they know, but then they don't know. Okay. But then at the end of the day, it's not about who is right or wrong. It's about how you're gonna make your life steer better. Okay, it's not an ego thing. It's just you know, the expert is for you to make a better decision. Okay, that they're the help. So if the help is just nonsense or whatever, then go with your own direction. But then if that helps, then just, you know, some people it's good to trust. Okay, if you find a good expert, trust, because these people tell you if you don't know certain area, they'll say I don't know. Okay, a lot of expert. The problem is like when people get like a little arrogant, they have like a specific knowledge, but then they start thinking other things are also they know, because they can think better, right, in the certain field. So they kind of delude themselves that then they can actually understand the other part of the field. But then generally people are not the kind of wide range thinkers. So that's why you see some scientists or doctors or whatever start kind of talking nonsense, and then their incentive of delude themselves becomes stronger. Then they can actually rationalize a lot of bad behaviors. So by refusing to blindly follow authorities, you actually really regain control of your life. So you're no longer like bounded by those rigid rules, but that is created by authorities or experts, right? So you can actually think for yourself and use the expert as really a tools. I'm saying like in not like disregarding the humanity or anything. It's just one of your good companions. Like if you choose to do so, when you choose to do so, rather than being oppressed or restricted by them. Okay. So this thinking also train your critical mind, and this will give you freedom and autonomy, and empowers you to move towards your goals with clarity and confidence. And the best part is really to do this with your own terms, not somebody else's ideas. And that's the best thing about questioning the authorities and not blindly following the experts. Thank you for watching. Please share your ideas in the comment section below to help each other, and hit like and the subscribe buttons so you get notified of the next video. See you next time.